Most people don't realize it, but the first few feet inside your home can quietly shape your financial flow. Not your career, not your bank account, but your front door. It's the threshold every opportunity must cross before it can settle in your life. Think about it, the first thing you and energy encounter when entering your home sets the tone. Is it light-filled and welcoming, or cluttered and dim, with yesterday's Amazon box still unopened? You don't need to believe in luck or follow any spiritual practice to notice this. Some spaces just feel stuck, and others feel open. In Feng Shui, the front door is called the mouth of Kai, where all life force enters. But even if you've never heard that term, you've felt it. You've walked into homes that feel warm and generous and others that feel cold before anyone even says hello. That's not random. It often comes down to details most of us ignore: a mat too small for 2 feet, a potted plant dying silently by the step, a nameplate missing from the door. These seem harmless, but they whisper a message to the world: this home isn't quite ready to receive. And when that message repeats itself every day, what else might be quietly turning away at your doorstep? This video isn't about belief. It's about awareness, because the way your front door feels isn't just a matter of style. It's a mirror of how open you are to welcome what you've been waiting for. So today, we'll walk through 6 of the most common front door mistakes, subtle shifts that might be blocking the very things you've been working hard to attract. Ready to take that first step in? Let's start at the entrance. Mistake 1. Cluttered, dim and neglected entry. There's a moment just 3 seconds long when you open your front door. You might not even notice it anymore, but your body does. Your breath either deepens or tightens. You either feel a sense of arrival or a quiet resistance, like you're stepping into a space that isn't quite ready for you. That moment is everything. And for most people, it's being shaped by a small but powerful mistake: a cluttered, dim, or neglected entryway. You see, your entry isn't just a path between outside and inside. It's a place of transition, energetically, emotionally, practically. It's the first impression your home gives, not just to others, but to you. If the first thing you see is a pile of Amazon boxes you didn't get to last week, or a tangle of shoes at the door, or a dark hallway with a flickering bulb, your body responds before your mind does. There's a soft hesitation, a message that says, this space is overwhelmed. And when your space feels overwhelmed, guess what? So do you. Let's be honest, most of us don't leave our entry cluttered because we're lazy. We leave it that way because life gets heavy. We're rushing. We're tired. We tell ourselves, I'll deal with that this weekend. But weekend after weekend, the clutter grows. A pair of shoes becomes 5. A jacket tossed over a chair becomes part of the chair. A box left by the door becomes background noise. And suddenly, your home's welcome mat is no longer a welcome, it's a warning. Subtle, invisible, but deeply felt. The lighting doesn't help either. Many American homes have entryways that are too dim, or worse, have no light fixture at all. And when light is absent, energy stops flowing. You feel it in your mood, the drop, the disconnect. Maybe you walk into your house and head straight for the bedroom. Maybe you sigh before you've even taken off your coat. That's not just fatigue. That's the space talking back. Because when the place you return to each day feels dark, blocked, and forgotten, it starts to wear on you. Silently, slowly, consistently. Now, let's go deeper. Why does this matter so much in Feng Shui? Because the front door is the primary mouth of energy, called the Kai in Chinese practice. But forget the word if it feels too foreign. Just think of it as this: the front door is where all opportunity, joy, prosperity, and fresh experiences first meet you. If that meeting place is full of dust, disarray, and dim corners, what kind of welcome are you really giving to the things you've been hoping for? This isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. Because when we live with chaos long enough, it becomes invisible. That broken umbrella that's still leaning by the wall, you don't even see it anymore. The burned out light bulb, you've learned to squint. But visitors feel it. More importantly, you feel it, in a way that chips away at you, little by little. The sad truth is, your home can start telling you a story you didn't mean to write. A story of delay, of fatigue, of unresolved things. and all of it begins the second you open that door. So how do we shift this? It doesn't take a remodel. It takes intention. Start by standing at your front door as if you were a guest. What's the first thing you see? What do you have to step over? What's the quality of the light? What's the scent, the airflow, the sense in your gut? If you had to name the feeling in one word, what would it be? Welcoming, tight, ignored. Then act on that answer. Remove what doesn't belong. The umbrella goes. The packages are opened and put away. The shoes are either stored in a clean bin or moved into a closet. And lighting. Change the bulb. Add a small wall sconce or a motion-activated lamp if wiring is hard. Use a warm, soft light, nothing too harsh, nothing too dim. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're trying to shift the emotional climate of the space where you begin and end each day. There's another level too, what's behind the door. Often, the inside of the front door is completely ignored. Yet this is the surface you see every single day. Try this: clean it, polish the handle, add a simple, calming artwork or a shelf with one intentional object, a candle, a photo, a tiny sculpture that means something to you. Not clutter, just something that signals I see you, space. I'm paying attention. This isn't about perfection. No one's entryway is Pinterest ready all the time. But it's about reclaiming the first 5 seconds of being home, about making them feel easy, open, and grounding. Because those 5 seconds influence everything that follows. Think of it like the opening line of a song. If it starts out clashing and noisy, it's hard to hear the melody later. And if you're someone who's been trying to call in new things, a better job, a calmer home life, a more peaceful relationship with money, don't underestimate the front door. It's not just symbolic, it's practical. It's psychological. It's energetic. It's emotional. And most of all, it's changeable. Let this be the shift your home is ready to receive, because you are ready to invite. That doesn't start with a big purchase. It starts with removing one box, one forgotten pile, one dusty corner. And when that space clears even just a little, you'll feel something shift. Lighter, quieter, more aligned. As if your home is finally exhaling and ready to let something new in. So don't walk past your front door like it's just a formality. Treat it like the beginning of your next chapter. Clean it, light it, respect it. Because the way your home welcomes you is the way life begins to show up too. Mistake 2. Plants guardians or blockers. There's something undeniably comforting about seeing green at your doorstep. A soft cluster of leaves, the scent of fresh soil, a sign of life before you even walk in. For many, plants feel like an act of love, a welcome, a buffer from the outside world, a bit of nature's calm placed right where the day begins and ends. But here's the quiet truth. The very plant you've placed with care might be doing the exact opposite of what you intended. Because in Feng Shui, and in real life, not every plant is a blessing, and not every position is neutral. Let's begin where it counts, at the threshold. The area just outside and just inside your front door is sacred space. It's the gateway. And everything in that zone either guides energy in or sends it stumbling back. A healthy, vibrant plant positioned thoughtfully can act like a gentle usher, softening energy, filtering negativity, and inviting calm. But a struggling plant, one that's wilting, browning, or dropped so many leaves the soil is nearly bare, that isn't just decor that needs water. That's a signal, a whisper that says, the flow is blocked. And over time, that whisper builds. Now imagine this: you come home after a long day. You're carrying groceries, maybe keys in your mouth, a coat half slipping off your arm. As you approach your door, you have to shuffle sideways around a large pot that's leaned just slightly off center. Maybe it's a money tree, maybe a snake plant. Either way, its placement makes you dodge. You've adapted to it. You don't even think about it anymore. But your body does. Every step that forces you to shift, every moment of "I'll trim that leaf later," is a message being rehearsed daily. This path is not open. Feng Shui is less about belief and more about attention. And attention here means observing what most of us tune out. Look at your plant right now. Is the pot cracked? Is there dust on the leaves? Is the water saucer full of standing water? Are there yellowing stems, or worse, little bugs that scatter when you move it? This is not a judgment. It's an invitation. Because a plant at your door is not neutral. It's either enhancing your space or quietly draining it. There's a deeper level to this too. In Eastern philosophy, left and right sides carry symbolic meaning. When you look out from inside your home, the left side of the front door is known as the green dragon side. It represents vitality, incoming wealth, action. The right is the white tiger, still powerful, but quieter, more inward. If you can only place one plant, place it to the left as you look out. This small choice shifts the energy subtly but meaningfully. It says this home invites prosperity in, and it knows which direction to face. But what kind of plant, you ask? Not every leafy friend belongs by the front door. Favor those with rounded, soft leaves, nothing spiky, aggressive, or sharp. Choose plants like pothos, money tree, jade, or fortune plant. These aren't just low maintenance, they visually convey abundance, softness, and growth. Rounded leaves invite, sharp ones repel. It's that simple. And yet, even the right plant in the right place becomes wrong when neglected. A beautiful plant, dusty and dying, becomes a contradiction. It promises life but shows decay. And in Feng Shui, contradictions confuse energy. They create mixed signals. That's why care matters more than the item itself. Water it. Wipe the leaves once a week. Clear fallen debris at the base. This isn't just cleaning, it's respect. A small, quiet ritual that says, I honor what I place here. Here's a powerful practice: name your plant. Not to talk to it unless you want to, but to form a connection. When we name something, we care for it more consistently. We remember it's alive. And when you care for a living thing with presence, the energy that surrounds your home begins to shift. Because you are present, and presence is magnetic. Let's talk about pairing. If you have space, place 2 symmetrical plants on either side of your door. This creates balance, stability, a visual frame for entry. But only if you're committed to tending both. If one dies, remove it immediately. A mismatched pair does more harm than good. It creates imbalance, and imbalance at the gateway ripples through the entire home. There's also a sensory dimension here. When you walk past a thriving, healthy plant, your body relaxes, your breath softens, you feel subtly supported. But when you pass a dying one, even without noticing, your nervous system registers something is off. You may not name it, but your mood shifts, the way you enter your home changes. And that change, tiny as it is, accumulates. Over weeks, over months, over years. A front door is a threshold. What you place there, what you walk past every day, becomes part of your daily story. And if your story has been one of waiting for change, clarity, abundance, then maybe it's time to look at that plant again. Is it helping you invite that shift? Or is it standing silently in the way? Let this be the shift the next time you come home. Pause. Really pause. Look at your doorway not as something you pass through, but as something that holds the first sentence of your home's energy. Ask yourself, does this plant feel alive, intentional, respected? Or does it feel forgotten? Don't overthink it, just feel it. Your body already knows. Then act. Trim the dead leaves, repot if needed. Or let it go, and choose another. Something that fits the light, something that's easy to love. And once you place it, tend it, not for show, for energy, for attention, for the quiet message it sends every single day. This is a place where life grows, where things are cared for, where prosperity is welcome. Because in the end, a plant is never just a plant. At your front door, it's a silent greeter, a mood setter, a symbol, and symbols shape reality. Every leaf, every root, every bit of care you give or withhold, that's energy. And energy doesn't just visit, it settles, it lingers, it becomes the emotional texture of your home. So ask yourself now, is your front door framed by something that opens energy or blocks it? Is the green by your step a guardian or a quiet wall you didn't realize you built? And if the answer is the latter, then good. Because that means you're aware now, and awareness is where every shift begins. Mistake 3. Salt bowl, a silent energy gatekeeper. Not all boundaries are made of walls. Some are quiet, invisible, set not with bricks, but with intention. And among the simplest, most overlooked tools for creating that kind of boundary is a bowl of salt placed, not displayed near the threshold of your home. It sounds almost too simple. Just salt. But this isn't about superstition. It's about creating a silent filter between what's outside and what you allow in. Let's be honest, life doesn't knock before it brings in heaviness. We carry stress from work, news from the outside world, moods from difficult conversations. We walk through our door physically home, but energetically still tangled in the noise of what came before. And the home, if we're not careful, absorbs that. Over time, the air gets heavier. Not because anything broke, but because nothing was cleared. Salt has been used for centuries in cultures around the world, not to flavor food, but to hold space. To purify, protect, preserve. Not by magic, but by mineral memory. Salt absorbs. It stabilizes. It doesn't demand attention, but it notices everything. And that's exactly what makes it such a powerful gatekeeper. Imagine this tucked just behind your shoe cabinet, or quietly sitting in the corner near your front door, is a small bowl of coarse sea salt, not a decor piece, not something anyone comments on, just a quiet sentinel, absorbing whatever doesn't belong. The stale mood from a bad day, the chaotic energy from the street, the subtle heaviness that tries to follow you in. The salt doesn't fight it. It simply receives it, then holds it, so you don't have to. But here's the thing, this only works if it's done with care. Not all salt is created equal. Table salt, the white, polished, anti-caking kind, is too processed, stripped of its raw strength. What you want is unrefined sea salt. Coarse, off-white or light gray. Alive in its texture, still close to the earth. Fill a small ceramic or glass bowl 2/3 of the way. Place it somewhere out of the way, behind a plant, beside a low cabinet, anywhere that feels natural but undisturbed. This isn't for show, it's for function. And then, once a week, check it. You'll know when it's done its job. The salt may clump, it may change color, it may even dissolve slightly if your home carries a lot of moisture, or if the energy has been especially heavy. That's not failure, that's proof. It means the salt worked. Now it's time to thank it and replace it. Throw the old salt outside, never down the sink. Wash the bowl. Refill it. Begin again. It takes minutes, but what it restores can last for days. Let's talk about why this matters in a deeper sense. We live in a time of constant input. Digital noise, environmental stress, endless to-do lists. Most homes are not just where we live, they're where we try to recover. But recovery requires clarity, and clarity begins at the boundary. If your home is a sanctuary, the entrance must be the first act of protection. Not a defense, just a line, a filter, a small act of discernment that says what's out there can stay out there. In here, we protect the tone, and the salt bowl, humble as it is, becomes the marker of that tone. It requires nothing flashy, no rituals, no belief system, just the quiet power of consistent attention. And that attention grows over time. You start to notice when the air feels different. You become sensitive to the shift that happens after someone with strong energy visits. You begin to feel, not just think, when your home needs a refresh. That is awareness, and awareness is freedom. There's also a sensory truth here. A home where the energy is consistently cleaned, even invisibly, feels easier to live in. Arguments don't linger as long. Sleep comes quicker. Creativity returns more freely. You may not trace it directly to the salt bowl, but the body knows. The breath knows. Your nervous system responds. Because when the atmosphere is light, we soften. And softness is not weakness. It's the most powerful way to receive. Now let's go practical. If your front door opens directly to a high-traffic area like a busy street, an apartment hallway, or a space shared with others, you need a buffer. The salt becomes your quiet bouncer. If you're living near power lines, train tracks, or even just an active neighborhood, you're surrounded by movement. And movement stirs energy. Not all of it is helpful. The salt bowl doesn't judge, it just filters. And if your home often feels emotionally unsettled, if there's been loss, transition, or tension, the salt holds space for that too. Not to fix it, but to keep it from overwhelming the tone of the whole house. It gives you room to feel without drowning in it, and that alone can change everything. Here's a small but meaningful practice. When you place your salt bowl for the first time, pause. Take a moment, not for ceremony, just for attention. Whisper a phrase to yourself, something simple like, "I protect what matters," or "This space supports me." You don't have to believe in energy. You just have to believe in intention. And intention, repeated quietly over time, changes things. You may be wondering, does anyone need to know about this? Absolutely not. The salt bowl isn't a statement. It's a secret. A tool that works whether it's seen or not. And the beauty of it is this: it asks nothing from you except respect. Replace it weekly. Don't leave it until it's caked and forgotten. Don't let it become part of the clutter. Keep it clean, keep it simple, keep it steady. Because when something so small holds so much for you, the least you can do is meet it with care. This is not a fix-all, but it is a beginning, a single shift, a subtle boundary that tells the world this home is held, this space is watched over, this life is being lived with attention. And that message, silent though it may be, echoes back in ways you'll begin to feel. So the next time you step through your front door, ask yourself, what crosses with you? What follows you home without permission? And who or what is standing quietly by, willing to hold it for you, if only you let it? The answer may just be waiting in a little bowl of salt. No fanfare, no noise, just presence. And that is powerful. Mistake 4. The doormat. Quiet but powerful. Most people think of a doormat as just a mat, something to wipe your feet on before coming inside. But what if I told you that mat, the one you step on without thinking, might be the very reason wealth, peace, or clarity hesitates to enter your home? It sounds dramatic, but the truth is, the doormat isn't just a functional object. It's the threshold between everything outside and everything you invite in. And when that threshold is neglected, mismatched, or chosen without care, it sends a silent but powerful message: this space isn't ready. Let's begin with the obvious, yet most overlooked. How does your doormat feel underfoot? Is it sturdy or flimsy? Clean or caked with old dirt? Too small to catch both feet? Or oversized and curled at the edges? These things matter not because of aesthetic, but because of energy. You see, the moment your foot touches the mat, your nervous system begins to read the home. A clean, well-placed, intentional mat tells your body you're stepping into safety, into care. But a mat that's soggy, faded, or forgotten, that's a slippery start, not just for your shoes, but for your sense of stability. In Feng Shui, the doormat is not just decoration, it's a filter. The first layer of defense. Its purpose is quiet but vital: to stop what doesn't belong and welcome in what does. That includes energy, the tension from your day, the dust of a long commute, the lingering thoughts you picked up along the way. A well-chosen doormat says, pause here, leave that behind, step in fresh, and that single pause can change how your entire evening unfolds. Now, let's talk about the biggest mistake: neglect. A mat that's left too long becomes more than dirty, it becomes symbolic. It says this home is on autopilot, that no one's really noticing the details anymore. And if no one's noticing, then neither is abundance. Because abundance, true, grounded, sustainable abundance, thrives in awareness, in presence. And the doormat, as simple as it is, reveals whether that presence starts at your front door. So what makes a good doormat? Start with material. Skip synthetic plastics or rubber that feel cold, slick, or artificial. Instead, go for natural textures: jute, thick cotton, or coarse woven fabric. These not only absorb better, they feel better, they ground, they connect to the earth. They age with character instead of just wearing out. Color matters too. Earth tones are ideal: deep browns, stone grays, warm beige, mossy greens. These shades don't scream for attention, but they communicate warmth, grounding, and quiet strength. Avoid bright reds or blues that jar the eye. This isn't about making a statement. It's about setting a tone. Size is key. Your mat should be large enough that both feet land on it comfortably before stepping inside. If it's too small, you'll feel it even unconsciously. You'll step awkwardly, readjust. That micro moment of imbalance, it ripples into how you enter the space. Over time, it builds. So go bigger, not smaller. Choose a size that says you are fully received here. Placement is just as essential. Your mat should lie flat. No curling corners. No bunching up that causes the door to catch or drag. If your door pulls your mat every time it opens, that's resistance. That's flow being interrupted at the very entry point. Replace it. Adjust the door. But don't leave it as is, because that stuckness, literal or symbolic, starts to seep into everything. And then comes care. A mat should be shaken out regularly, cleaned, or replaced when needed. If it's rained heavily and the mat is soaked, dry it or bring it in. If it's covered in leaves, sweep it off. These are not chores, they're rituals. And rituals, done with intention, become the architecture of emotional clarity. Here's something to try the next time you replace your mat. Don't just toss the old one and drop the new. Pause. Place it with both hands. Whisper something quietly, even if it's just for you. Say, I leave the old outside and step in with a clear mind. You don't need to believe in magic. You just need to believe in moments. And that moment, placing something new with awareness, can shift more than you think. Some people ask if they need special symbols or words printed on the mat. You don't. If you love a mat that says welcome, great. If you prefer plain, that's fine too. What matters isn't what's written. What matters is how it feels. If it makes you smile a little every time you see it, that's energy. If it reminds you to slow down, even for one breath, that's energy. Choose something that feels aligned. That feels like an extension of your values, not just your design style. Now let's step back for a moment and see the bigger picture. Your front door is a boundary, but it's also a bridge. It connects two worlds, the outer and the inner. And the doormat sits exactly at that intersection. When chosen with care, it becomes more than a mat. It becomes a ritual of transition, a place where the day shifts, where old tension gets released, where presence begins. So the next time you come home, notice what you step on. Notice how it feels. And if it doesn't feel steady, clean, or intentional, change it. You deserve to walk into your life feeling grounded, feeling welcomed, feeling like even the simplest object at your feet is saying, this place holds you. Because in the end, the doormat isn't just about keeping dirt out. It's about how you choose to cross the line between the world outside and the world you're creating inside. Make that line sacred. Make it conscious. Make it soft enough that every step forward feels like an arrival. Mistake 5. Your nameplate, a signal to the universe. Some homes have a presence you can feel before you even knock. A quiet assurance. A sense of ownership, not just legal, but energetic. And more often than not, those homes share one detail, a nameplate. Not flashy, not decorative, just clear, intentional, and placed with care. A name, a number, a mark that says someone lives here and they mean it. You might think, what difference does that make? But in the subtle language of space and energy, that difference is everything. Let's start with the invisible truth. In Feng Shui, a nameless home is considered undefined. Like a letter without an address, a beacon without a receiver. Good energy, opportunity, even relationships, these forces don't knock on doors randomly. They arrive where there's clarity. And clarity begins with identification. Your name on or near your front door isn't just for the mail carrier. It's a signal to life itself. This space is occupied. It is held. It is open to receive. Think about the homes you've visited that felt warm even before the door opened. Often they had something small and personal at the entrance. A carved sign, a small plaque, a number in elegant brass. And even if you never thought about it consciously, you felt it. The home had presence. It had character. It had a pulse. That's what a nameplate gives. Not information, but identity. Now consider the opposite. A row of identical townhomes, or a building hallway where every unit looks the same. No names, no markers, just repetition. What does that say to the world? To energy? It says nothing unique here. No one home to answer. And that, whether you believe in energy or not, is a subtle rejection of connection, of intimacy, of being seen. You don't need to buy a fancy engraved sign. This isn't about expense. It's about intention. A simple wooden plaque, a piece of slate, a strip of brushed metal. Choose something that feels durable, authentic, and aligned with your aesthetic. It doesn't need to be big. It just needs to be present. To say, here I am. This is mine. This is me. Placement matters. The most energetically effective spot is to the right of your front door, at adult eye level. Why? Because it's the spot people naturally look when approaching. It's subtle, but significant. And if you live in an apartment or condo where signage is limited, even a nameplate placed just inside your door, visible through a peephole or near a doorbell, carries weight. The point isn't visibility to others. It's clarity within the space. There's also a psychological shift that happens when we mark our home with our name. We take greater ownership, not just in terms of bills and responsibilities, but in emotional stewardship. When your name is on something, you tend to care for it more. You repair faster. You tend more lovingly. Because that space is no longer generic. It's yours. It bears your imprint. And that changes how you move through it. If you rent, you might be thinking, but I don't own this place. That's exactly why it's even more important. Ownership isn't about legal titles. It's about presence. And presence doesn't wait for a mortgage. If this is where you sleep, eat, dream, and grow, then this is your space. Claiming it energetically sends a message that transcends lease terms. It tells the universe I am here. Fully. Here's a small but powerful practice. When you install your nameplate, no matter how simple it is, do it with quiet attention. Take a breath, place it with care. Whisper something that marks the moment. It could be as simple as, "This is my home," or "May this place know my name and carry my peace." Again, you don't have to believe in energy for this to work. You just have to be willing to slow down and mean it. This is also a beautiful opportunity to create something personal. If you live with family, consider including the initials or shared last name. If it's just you, own that too. Let the nameplate reflect your story, whether you're rooted for decades or here for a short chapter. Your presence matters either way. Over time, a nameplate becomes more than a sign. It becomes a statement, a declaration of belonging, and belonging is the soil where all good things grow. When a space knows who it belongs to, when it hears its name spoken and honored, it holds that energy more clearly. It becomes a vessel, not just a container. Let's zoom out for a moment. You've cleared the clutter, you've lit the entry, you've chosen your doormat. Maybe there's a plant welcoming guests and a salt bowl holding space. All of that sets the tone. But the nameplate, that's the signature, the final mark that closes the loop. That says this isn't just a house, this is a home, this is mine. So today, take a look at your front door. Does it carry your name, your imprint, your energy? Or is it still anonymous, waiting to be claimed? Don't let another week go by with a blank space where your name could live. Find something simple, something that feels like you. Place it with care. And every time you walk past it, let it remind you not just of your address, but of your presence, your belonging, your readiness to be seen, supported, and celebrated. Because in the quiet language of the universe, the clearest signals often come in the smallest forms. And sometimes, the simplest act, like putting your name on your door, is the most powerful invitation of all. Mistake 6. Light or movement near the door. Some spaces feel alive the moment you approach them. Not loud, not dramatic, just quietly vibrant, like the air itself is stirred, the energy gently awake. Often, the difference comes down to one small detail: movement, light, a flicker, a shift. Something soft but present that tells the world this home breathes, this home is ready. And yet, so many entryways remain still, silent, frozen in design, stuck in stillness. Without even realizing it, we let the energy stall right at the door. This is the final, and perhaps most overlooked, mistake: no light or movement near the front door. At first, it may seem minor. Who cares if the light bulb's burned out, or if the porch hasn't been updated in years? But the entrance to your home is not just a physical passage, it's an energetic one. And energy, like people, responds to cues. Stillness can feel stagnant. Darkness can feel closed. But even a small flicker, a windy chime, a soft lantern, a decorative flag that dances in the breeze can awaken the Kai, invite the flow, and shift the mood. In Feng Shui, we often talk about yang energy, the active, bright, life-affirming quality that welcomes opportunity and presence. Light and movement activate yang energy. They stir what's asleep. They open what's blocked. And they send a message not only to others but to your own spirit that this home is alive, that it is cared for. That something good is happening here. Let's begin with light. Walk outside your front door tonight and look at your entrance from the sidewalk or driveway. Is it illuminated? Not by harsh spotlights, but by something warm, inviting, and intentional. Too often, we leave the porch in darkness or rely on a single overhead bulb that casts cold shadows. But darkness at the entrance tells a story, one of withdrawal, isolation, disconnection. It says keep moving. But soft, golden light, it says you're home. You don't need expensive fixtures. A simple wall lantern, a warm LED, a small solar light tucked among plants. The goal isn't brightness, it's warmth, it's invitation. Now let's talk about movement. This can be literal, like a wind chime that stirs in the breeze, or a hanging ornament that shifts gently as the door opens. Or it can be light-based, a candle-like flicker, a motion-sensitive lamp that greets you as you arrive. The point is to activate the air, to keep the energy from settling too densely. Movement awakens curiosity. It softens rigidity. It lets the space hail. Direction matters too. If your door faces north or northwest areas naturally lacking in sunlight, you may feel that heaviness at the threshold. In those cases, lighting becomes even more critical. Use warm amber tones or a flickering fixture to simulate natural glow. If your door faces south or southeast, incorporate the fire element more consciously. Think lanterns with a soft orange hue. East-facing doors benefit from balance. Add gentle motion or light in pale yellow or sky blue. These aren't strict rules. They're suggestions that help energy feel supported, not scattered. What about aesthetics? Keep it simple. Avoid flashing lights, strong scents, or overwhelming movement. The goal is not to startle or impress, but to soothe, to stir, to awaken. Metal or glass lanterns work beautifully. They reflect gently, hold shape, and blend into most home styles. Soft fabrics or tassels on chimes or banners add texture without noise. Just ensure nothing is blocking the door itself or causing an obstacle. Movement should invite, not interrupt. Here's a practice you can try this week. Choose one small item to add near your door that moves. A bell, a light, a small hanging crystal. Place it mindfully. Observe how it changes the mood, not just visually, but emotionally. You might be surprised at how much lighter your entire entry feels. And that lightness doesn't stay at the door, it follows you in. Let's ground this further. Why does this matter so much? Because your nervous system reads stillness and darkness as caution signs, not always consciously but somatically. A dark, static entrance lowers your energy. A glowing, gently moving one lifts it. It's subtle, but deeply real. Think about how it feels to walk into a home with a porch candle flickering in the evening breeze. You don't just see it, you feel welcomed. You feel noticed, safe. And in a world where many of us walk through our days feeling unseen or overwhelmed, that soft welcome matters. Now zoom out. You've cleared your entrance, placed your plants, honored your salt bowl, chosen a doormat with care, claimed your space with a nameplate, and now you breathe life into it, all of it with a flicker of light, a breath of movement. You complete the loop. You animate the space. And animation is the signature of presence. So pause tonight. Step outside. Look at your entrance not as a homeowner, but as a guest. What do you feel? Is it awake? Is it warm? Is it stirred by the wind or still like a forgotten page? Then ask yourself this: what can I add, not to decorate, but to awaken? What will whisper come in? Something good lives here. Because energy, like people, comes where it's invited. And nothing sends that invitation more clearly than a door that glows softly, breathes lightly, and stirs with just enough motion to say, yes, you're welcome. Now let's step back for a moment and see the bigger picture. Your front door is a boundary, but it's also a bridge. It connects two worlds, the outer and the inner. And the doormat sits exactly at that intersection. When chosen with care, it becomes more than a mat. It becomes a ritual of transition, a place where the day shifts, where old tension gets released, where presence begins. So the next time you come home, notice what you step on. Notice how it feels. And if it doesn't feel steady, clean, or intentional, change it. You deserve to walk into your life feeling grounded, feeling welcomed, feeling like even the simplest object at your feet is saying, this place holds you. Because in the end, the doormat isn't just about keeping dirt out. It's about how you choose to cross the line between the world outside and the world you're creating inside. Make that line sacred. Make it conscious. Make it soft enough that every step forward feels like an arrival.